In this video, I will take a look at Luminar 4 and see what they have improved in the new version and what they maybe did not. I already tested the beta version of Luminar 4 and it was great, but it still had some bugs. But this is now the final version of Luminar 4 and I really look forward to show you now what they changed compared to Luminar 3, what they made better, but as well maybe what they still can improve. Let's start with the first thing. As you can see here at the whole surface, a few things changed. I'm now here in the library and this is now the German version of Luminar 4. Some things, are now here in German because I just recorded the German video before that video, but never mind that. So this is the library, and in the library, just like in Adobe Bridge or in Lightroom, you can see all your images in one folder, and when you want to change the folder that you added, you can just click through here, like lasagna. This is from the Dolomites in South Tyrol. It's called, I don't know what it's actually called in English, but what I like about Luminar 4 is that everything is loading very fast. So when I just scroll through that thing, and this is on my external drive. I always work with external drives, not with files on the laptop. It loads super fast. And when I now want to add a new folder to the library of Luminar 4, I just take the folder and drag it onto the logo here in the dock, and then everything is loading and is already inside. And look how fast it's there actually. And try to do that with Lightroom or try to do that even with Bridge. It takes a lot of time till it loads, and those are raw files. 24 megapixel A7 III, I think the files were made with. But I can just see it because I can click info and there I see it's 7 Mark III, 24 millimeters, 1.4, and I see all the settings. This is here in Norway, shot for my clothing brand for photographers, Haugland. If you don't know Haugland yet, quick commercial. Okay, back to Luminar 4. What else has changed is the surface here in the whole editing thing, because now I have 4 different sections. I have here the main section, then I have the creative section, then I have the portrait section and the professional section. And in the first section, when I just click on brightness here in German, I can do everything I can do in Lightroom. Just like white balance, exposure, intelligent contrast, lights and shadows. And it's working pretty fast. So it's not any lagging or anything, it's going really smooth, and that's the overall thing that I recognize now with the final version. I tested it yesterday for the whole day. It was only crashing once, and compared to Luminar 3, which was crashing a lot, especially with bigger files, it's very good actually. It's very smooth, very going through just like the loading thing here. It's nice. It's very nice, like Borat would say. And you can change as well to different options of viewing. So this is a bigger option now and it looks very beautiful, especially if you have mixed portrait and landscape shots like we have, for example, here. It looks very beautiful, very, very nice. And I can just like in Lightroom say now 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 and rate the images with stars and edit them, for example, afterwards, and then still they appear here in the left-hand corner. What I want to show you now first is something new in the portrait section, because I see now here my portrait images. So let's open one of those portrait shots. Oh, beautiful. Look at these men. The whole framing of the image is not the best. Let's see if it's in focus. It always takes some time till it really is in focus. I will now make my screen a bit brighter. But yeah, not so beautiful, but let's see what we can do with the software. Okay, I have now the what is it called in English? Artificial Intelligence Skin Enhancer, and I try that now first, and I will zoom in even a bit more. Oh, look at this beautiful look. Maybe I should take an image where I see my eyes, because afterwards I want to show you the eye thing. Actually, I can't find any image where I have my eyes completely open, but for now this image should be good. And we start with the AI Skin Enhancer. And when I just drag it to the right hand side, you can see that the skin gets you can say improved. It's like you would powder somebody when you would be a makeup artist, but digitally it's okay. I wouldn't do it now for myself. The skin gets pretty soft, but this is just what smartphones also do when they soften the skin. And as well, you can check that little box here and it will get rid of some little nasty dots and points and pimples in the face when it is working. For me, I could not recognize any difference actually when I was checking it or not checking it. But yeah, maybe it's just not the right image for this kind of checkbox. But the next thing I want to show you is the portrait enhancer. And what I like as well is when you click that little button here, you can take the filter or get rid of the filter. You can turn the filter on or turn the filter off, which is pretty cool and which did not work well in the beta version, but I still like the idea there. So, portrait enhancer. You can add some face light, which just brightens up the face. It's pretty cool filter. And just remember, this is a raw file now, and there's not done anything. I did not adjust the exposure or anything. It's not lighten in that situation. We are on top of a freaking mountain in Norway. It was cold and we were climbing up there. We had no equipment with us except of the camera. So when I now want to add some light, I can do it digitally with a face light. You can get rid of red eyes, you can make the eyes brighter, but as you can see, I don't have any eyes in that image. You can optimize the eyes, and you can get rid of those little shadows under your eyes. We can try if we can see it here. I just put it all the way up. Not really much, but you can see a before after here already. It's a bit darker. You can see getting old. Jaworskyj's getting old. At least it looks like on this image. You can make the face a bit smaller. You can see here my bones getting a little bit slimmer. Well, that's actually not a filter that I would use as well. But yeah. And you can make your eyes even bigger. Oh, great, great, great. Let's have a look if it worked in this image. Yeah, they are actually a bit bigger, but it looks a bit like a comic creature or something like this. So yeah, this is not something I would use, but I could understand if somebody wants just to play around with that. Oh, I can make my eyebrows darker. This is very beautiful as well. So yeah, I just do some stuff here. Yeah, bleach my teeth, lips, and some other stuff. Yeah, and as you can see, okay, that's a bit much of bleaching. Let's do a bit less. You can see it's not bad. This is before. This is after, this before, this after. For light beauty retouch with only a few sliders, it's not that bad actually. Okay, cool. Another thing I want to show you, and I just go back to the library, then I go in these images here, which we shot in Brittany here in France, where I live at the moment. This image here is a very nice portrait of myself, and as you can see, it's a nice dramatic sky in the background. But truth is, let's see the before and after, that there is no dramatic sky. And that is actually my favorite filter. I did a whole German video about this filter in general in the beta version already, where I explained this filter in detail. I will now show you how to use that filter for this image, and I show you as well how it works on another image in landscape photography, because this is a portrait, but you can use it in portrait and in landscape photography. So when I want to have a more dramatic sky, let's say in this image, because sky is boring grayish and stuff, you can take it like it is, but you want a bit more of extra. You just go into creative, and then there's a new thing in Luminar 4 which is called sky replacement. Maybe you've already heard of it. I just go in the AI sky replacement and I now deactivate the filter. There you can see I deactivate before after as well. And it's working pretty nice. I like it, how it's just smoothly working. There's no waiting and stuff. It's very cool. So I now just go here on dramatic sky and maybe take this sky here. And the thing is, you can first of all relight a scene, which is amazing. It just takes all the information from the background, from the sky, like color, like also brightness and stuff, and takes the foreground image, which you want to blend, and just adjusts it, but automatically. artificial. It's really, really good. Look at this. Before it's bright, and afterwards it's a bit more yellow, a bit warmer of temperature. But then one thing, of course, is not so good in this image, and this is the blurriness, because here everything is blurry. It was shot on an open aperture, but the sky is not blurry. But you can just do it by sky defocus on 100%. In this case, I would put it all the way up, and then it gets actually blurry. And you can see here in the corner it's not that perfect, so we can just try to work a little bit with the sliders and make it blend more perfectly. But you can see as well here on the filter and on the camera and on my head and everything, it's perfectly cutted. It's even, the sky is behind the glass filter where it should be. As you can see now, it's much more blended. The horizon is much better now. It looks very natural. When you now take a look at the image, you wouldn't, if you did not knew that this thing is artificial, I think you would not recognize it afterwards. Now, when you know it and when you see the before and after, maybe, but I don't think in this case. Hey, of course, I have some portrait enhancer on here, so now this is the natural image. Look at this, bam. Okay, I really like it. But I wanted to show you how this works as well on some landscape shot. And I will now just take some random shot that I did, maybe this one here, where the sky is totally blown out. It's a beautiful spot in South Tyrol, I think it's called in English, I have no idea. In Italy, actually, at the border to Austria, a very nice landscape situation. I go now on edit. As before, I go here in the sky replacement, and you now have some dramatic sunsets as well that you can add to the image, and you see how nice it actually works. And when you just add relight scene a bit to the foreground, it perfectly matches everything. And afterwards, you can still go in brightness and do adjustments like brightness, or just like shadows up, or just like bring contrast a little bit more up, that everything blends perfectly together. It's crazy, it's cheap. That is not photography, let's be honest. It's a composing, but it looks amazing, and it's very, very simple to use. I could imagine this for real estate agents or something be the perfect option if you just want to add another sky which makes the house more sellable or something like this. Look at this, amazing. But now what you have as well, which was not in the beta version, is galaxy. You can add a Milky Way, and I said to Luminar, you have to add that option, that skies as well, northern lights. I did a composing on my German channel with northern lights shot. I just added, because you can also not take the presetted things, but your own. You can just add your own image, and you can as well download images into this program, which is amazing. So you can actually do like a multi-exposure. You could do a blending of any sky, everything that you photographed, and just let it do automatically by the program. Alone that feature, $89 you have to remember is the price of that program, and it's not a subscription. You just buy it and you can use it at least for the next 2 years with your computer and your cameras, if not 3-4 years if you don't do any updates or just don't change your camera and stuff. So I think it's quite amazing. So yeah, Galaxy as mentioned, and you can also just put it different, so you can change the position of the horizon, that maybe the Milky Way is more up or is more down, like in this case maybe something like this or so. It's quite, look at this relight scene. It's just night. Now it's night in my image. And I don't do anything. I don't have to adjust white balance. The program does it by itself. It's just crazy. You see, I like it. It's really, really good. Yeah, this is one of my favorite features in Luminar. I really, really, really like it. And yeah. What also is better now in Luminar is the batched editing, which I liked a lot in Lightroom. You could do it before in Luminar 3, but now it's much better. You just go on any image and go on the top thing. I think it's called Essentials in English. Up here in German it's Wesentliches. And I just maybe adjust exposure, a little bit of contrast, blah blah. This is now my setting, and now I press Shift and go all the way down to all the images I want to edit, to batch edit, right mouse click, then I go to adjustments, or whatever it's called in English in this case here, and click on synchronize. And now I synchronize all the settings, all the adjustments from the top image I just edited to all of the other images. And I now could also hit right click and say export to all those 6 images I just have here in my selection, and then it would batch export all the images. As well, you have some batched export up here, which is also amazing. It's like the scripting tool in Photoshop, which I like if I have to do a lot of images in a batch process, like just small adjustments, or convert it to JPEG, convert it to a special size like 1200 pixels or something like this. You have it up here. Now, is everything roses in this program? Is it the perfect program? I think it's the best image editing program for good, affordable price at the moment out there. I say it's much better than Lightroom. I say it's maybe a less stable because it still crashes. Lightroom sometimes crashes as well, but I would say not as many times as Luminar, even if Luminar 4 is much more stable than Luminar 3. On the Mac, that's the only thing I can say. I only have a Mac computer. It's a 2016 MacBook Pro, so quite fast and working solid with the program. What I also would say is it is the best program for photography beginners or just hobby photographers that are not using frequently a program, just want to edit maybe once a week, once a month the images. And the subscription plan only allows you to spend 140 around per year, and then you just lease the program. And when you quit your subscription, you can't use the program anymore. Here you pay €89 once for the Luminar 4 version on your computer, and with the coupon code JAWORSKYJ, you even get €10 or $10, I think in dollar, as well of the purchase price. Isn't that amazing? I mean, that's a very fair deal. It's on 1 year under €7 per month, or on 2 years, because you can use it for 2 years as well. You don't have to lease it for something around $350 or something. $350 for Luminar 4. Alright, but is everything roses with this program? Is everything beautiful? Nope, definitely not. There are still downsides, and still the biggest downside for me since Luminar 3, which they did not improve yet, or at least I cannot see an improvement, is the export speed. So when I click any image, let's say our beautiful Milky Way shot we just did here, I go on export, I just go in any folder, and I now go on 100% original size, no sharpening, and just name it video. Click OK. Now we can actually count. I put now a timer on and start and save. The timer is running now while I'm talking. Yeah, and I tested it yesterday, I tested it today with different RAW files, with JPEG files, as well with big RAW files like 42 megapixel with now 24 megapixel. This is now a this is actually a 42 megapixel file. I tested it for the German video with another file. We now have already 20 seconds for one image, and it's still not saved. I don't know what can take that long to save a freaking image, but that's the real downside of Luminar. So if you're looking for speed and export, don't go to Luminar. But if you're looking for a beautiful program beside that, which is very solid working now, at least on a Mac, which has a lot of nice features, more features even than Lightroom, which has a nice... Now we're done! Now 48 freaking seconds for an export of an image. Okay, maybe it's not because it's only a RAW conversion with this image now, especially because there was a sky replacement also involved. Okay, I tested it with different images. The fastest export I got was 16 seconds. Then mediocre is like 30 seconds. And 48 really for me also is a record. Maybe the computer is tired. I don't know. It's late in the evening, as you can see on my clock up there. Yeah, but still it's too long. So Luminar, improve that. And then it's very beautiful program. It's a very nice. Now it's nice, but it could be very nice if you just do that. This is my opinion of Luminar 4. What is yours? Write it in the comments below and hit thumbs up if you liked the video. Share it with some of your photography friends. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also ring that bell that you don't miss any new video. I see you in the next video and say goodbye.